Hello Virgo, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus, and welcome to your reading. So Virgo, today we're going to go over your energy as well as your person's energy. We're going to see how the both of you are currently viewing this relationship and how you guys feel about it and what actions you guys plan on taking each other's direction and are moving forward. So with all that being said, Virgo, let's get started. How does Virgo currently view this relationship? Let's see what's going on, Virgo. Interesting. So we do have the Nine of Wands. Okay, we have the Page of Wands to the Ten of Pentacles, and then we also have the Ten of Cups. Very, very nice. Virgo. I want to focus on this Nine of Wands energy. With the Nine of Wands coming out here, that's kind of telling me that you're very, very guarded here when it comes down to a particular person that you currently find yourself connecting with. I feel like you look at this individual and your relationship with this individual as like a too good to be true type of situation. And because you look at it like it's too good to be true, in your head, you're kind of thinking to yourself, well, then it has to be too good to be true, you know? Hence why you're extremely guarded within this dynamic here between you and this person that you currently find yourself connecting with. Now, here's the thing, Virgo. Everything on the surface appears to be perfectly fine. Is what I'm gathering. Everything on the surface appears to be perfectly fine. So when it comes down to this Nine of Wands energy, it's like a lot of you don't fully understand why you feel the need that you have to be very guarded when it comes down to this person in particular. I think that it does have a lot to do with you looking at them like they're a little too good to be true. Maybe you're not used to really good things happening to you. That's definitely a possibility as well. But I feel like you're trying to understand, like, but why do I feel like I have to be guarded with this person, you know? I am getting that. It's like you're trying to understand, why do you feel like you have to be guarded when it comes down to this person in particular, especially when everything on the surface appears to be, you know, perfectly fine. In other words, I don't feel like this person's giving you any sort of indication to be guarded within this dynamic here between the two of you. And even though this person's not giving you any sort of indication to be guarded within this dynamic that you share with this person, you still feel like you have to be guarded. And I feel like that's something that you're really trying to kind of like dissect and figure out as to why you feel like you have to be guarded with them. Now, this person, by the way, that you currently find yourself connecting with, it's somebody that you do see a lot of potential with. You know, it's somebody that you will love to build and establish a long-term committed relationship with. It's like you look at this person as somebody who truly does essentially complete you. So if we get rid of your doubts and reservations when it comes down to this individual and why you feel, I guess, like you have to be guarded, you look at this person like they're basically perfect for you. Okay, let's look at this person. How does this person currently view this relationship? Ooh. I mean, this person's definitely practicing marriage with you. I am definitely getting that. What I mean by that is this. This is somebody who's very determined to stick by your side through the good times and the bad times. That's why I'm saying this person is definitely practicing marriage when it comes down to you. This Nine of Wands energy that you tend to harness within your relationship with this person tends to affect them and your relationship with them. So this Nine of Wands energy could have a lot to do with fear. It could have a lot to do with you not fully trusting the situation, you know what I mean? So however it resonates with you, right, in your particular situation as to why you're extremely guarded within this dynamic here between the two of you. Because some of you are guarded because you have a fear of intimacy. Some of you are guarded because you have like abandonment issues. Some of you are guarded because you have trust issues. So you would obviously know, you know, why you're essentially guarded within this dynamic here between the two of you, whether it's because of your fear of intimacy, your, you know, fear of like abandonment or your trust issues, whatever have you. I am getting, you know, why you're, well, you know, like in a way why you're essentially guarded within this dynamic here between the two of you. It's because you have trust issues, or it's because of past traumas that you've been through. But as to why you feel like you have to be that way with them, especially if this person has never given you any sort of reason to be guarded within this dynamic between the two of you, is what you're trying to figure out. Hopefully I haven't confused anybody or lost anyone. Hopefully, right? But I am definitely getting this Nine of Wands energy that you tend to essentially harness within your relationship with this person tends to essentially take a massive toll on them. mentally, spiritually, as well as emotionally. But if it's one thing that I will say is this, you definitely got somebody here that's very determined to stick by your side through the good and the bad times. They're basically practicing marriage with you. Now, of course, could you guys be married? That's definitely a possibility. But for those of you who are not married, they're basically practicing marriage with you. They're going to be by your side through the good and the bad times. Is basically what I'm getting with the King of Pentacles coming out here. That's kind of telling me that they're very committed and devoted to you and what they share with you, and they're very determined to make sure that this relationship turns out to essentially be a success. They don't want to experience another failed marriage. They do not want to experience another failed relationship. They do not. For the life of them, they do not. So if they have to stick by your side through the good and the bad times, then that's just what they're going to do. If they have to go above and beyond to make this dynamic between the two of you work, then that's just what the hell they're going to do. You know what I mean? I do feel like this dynamic between the two of you, it does kind of drive them a little insane. And it has a lot to do with the reasons why you feel like as you have to be guarded with this person, even though they haven't given you any reason to be guarded, but you know what I mean? It does kind of drive them insane, especially when this person deep down inside knows that they essentially mean well and that they're very committed and devoted to you. So it does kind of drive them insane from time to time. That you constantly feel the need to essentially be guarded within your relationship with them. Okay. How does Virgo currently feel? Ooh. Virgo, in regards to how you feel, you basically have one foot in, one foot out when it comes down to this connection that you currently find yourself in. It's like a part of you wants to continue to pour into this, and a part of you is like, maybe I really shouldn't continue to pour into this person and this dynamic anymore. The reason why you feel like you shouldn't continue to pour into this dynamic here between the two of you is because to a certain extent, this dynamic between the two of you, it is affecting you in a very negative way. The fact that you don't feel safe and secure, because with the Nine of Wands coming out here, it's an energy of somebody not feeling safe and secure, okay? The thing with you, Virgo, is that, yeah, you don't feel safe and secure with this person, but they haven't given you any sort of reason as to why you should feel this way. And I think that that's the dilemma / problem I would say that you're essentially having. Yeah, that's like the dilemma that you're essentially having here, is that you don't feel safe and secure with them, but they haven't given you a reason to not feel safe and secure with them. And it's something that I feel like you're truly trying to essentially figure out as to why you feel the way that you feel within this dynamic here between you and this person. But dude, you basically have one foot in, one foot out. More of the story. As much as you want this dynamic between the two of you to work, it's kind of hard. It's kind of hard for you because this relationship, unfortunately, it is affecting you in a very negative way. In other words, it doesn't make you feel safe and secure. And it's very, very important for you to essentially feel safe and secure with whoever it is that you decide to essentially build and establish a life with. And because that is essentially missing, it makes it very, very hard for you to want to continue to proceed forward in this dynamic here between the two of you because of the way it makes you feel. How does this person currently feel? Okay, let's do this. So we have the Ace of Wands, we got the Knight of Swords, and then we also have the Star. Okay, we do have Temperance out here, which is really nice to see. Temperance does trump the Devil every single time. Okay. I just got don't let them. Don't let them, don't let them, don't let them. This person that you're connecting with, they come off to me as somebody who's very, very spiritually based, very, very intuitive. I feel like this person's guides are encouraging them to not allow you to essentially self-sabotage this dynamic here between the two of you, because I keep getting don't let them self-sabotage this, don't let them self-sabotage this, don't let them self-sabotage this. And it kind of looks like they haven't. It kind of looks like this person hasn't let you self-sabotage this dynamic here between the two of you. I feel like at times this dynamic between the two of you, it gets so bad for them to the point where they do want to get up and walk away. But I feel like they're constantly being divinely guided to not give up on you in this dynamic that the two of you share with one another. It's as if their guides are telling them, just hang in there. It's going to get better. It's going to get better. It's going to get better. Don't give up now. It's going to get better. It's going to get better. It's going to get better. They're very attached, I would say, to you and what they want, you know, with you. I am definitely getting that. They're very, very attached to you and what they want with you. I just feel like this person just wants to have this happily ever after with you, Virgo. That's it. Nothing more, nothing less. I mean, your person does come off to me as like a very simple individual. Nothing wrong with them being simple or anything like that. But yeah, I just feel like this person just simply wants to be happy with you. Nothing more, nothing less. But it kind of looks like that has been a massive challenge for them as far as building this happily ever after that they essentially want with you, due to the way that this dynamic is essentially affecting you in a very negative way. Okay. What actions will Virgo take towards this person or moving forward? We have the King of Cups. We got the Seven of Pentacles. And then we also have the Six of Swords. At the bottom of the deck, we got the King of Wands. We have the King of Cups. And then we also have the Eight of Wands to the Ten of Cups. Okay. In regards to this person to the right of me, they kind of come off to me as like the gorilla glue to this relationship. And I'm just being totally honest here. They do kind of come off to me as like the gorilla glue to this relationship. Like, I feel like this person has done a lot of things to keep this dynamic between the two of you, you know, intact and afloat. Anyways, in regards to how you plan on moving forward, with these energies coming out here for you, Virgo, which I'm surprised you didn't get the Two of Wands, but with these energies coming out here for you, that's kind of telling me that you have one foot in, one foot out. That's also kind of telling me you're very indecisive. It's like you don't know whether to go left or to go right, is basically what I'm getting. Now, this is what Spirit wants you to do moving forward, okay? This is what Spirit wants you to do moving forward that I don't feel like you're really doing moving forward, okay? For one, what Spirit wants you to do is live in the present moment. Stop worrying so much about but what if this happens in the future? And what if that happens in the future? What Spirit wants you to do is focus more so on remaining as grounded as you possibly can, okay? And that starts with you remaining in the present moment. If you have to go grounding, go grounding. If you have to meditate, go ahead and meditate. Like, what Spirit needs you to do is start focusing on the present moment, the now, not the what's going to happen 5 years from now. You know what I mean? What if this happens 10 years from now? No, like, focus on the present moment, okay? Because that in itself is definitely going to help you out a whole lot with your anxiety, because the Nine of Wands can definitely indicate somebody who suffers from anxiety. So you might suffer from anxiety. That's definitely a possibility. But yeah, what Spirit needs you to do is focus on, grounding, meditating, living in the present, moment, because that's going to really soothe like your anxiety. Another thing too, Spirit wants you to go based off of, what you see and what this person is essentially showing you, okay? Because it kind of looks like this person has been showing you on several different occasions how serious they actually are about you. But the problem with you, Virgo, is that you tend to kind of get into your head and you tend to worry about like the future a lot. Like, what if this happens though? But what if that happens? Then what am I going to do? You know what I mean? Like, and this is kind of why you're being advised to remain in the present moment. So get into like grounding, get into essentially, meditating if you're not already doing that, okay? Because that in itself, not only is it going to soothe your anxiety, Virgo, when it comes down to remaining in the present moment and going based off of what you see and what this person is basically showing you, right? It is going to help you see things more clearly, because if you're so focused on, but what if this person betrays me and deceives me a year from now or 5 years from now, it's going to be very, very hard for you to see what this person is essentially doing in the present moment, because you're too caught up in thinking about the future and what if this happens and what if that happens. I think that once you start doing these things, you're going to start to see this person, their intentions towards you a little bit more clearly. And that's what Spirit wants, is for you to essentially see things a little bit more clearly, because to a certain extent, you could definitely see this person loves you and cares about you. But I feel like what causes you to doubt that has a lot to do with the, but what if this happens and what if that happens? What actions will this person take towards Virgo or moving forward? So we do have the Page of Cups, we also have the Moon, and then we also have the Ace of Cups. The bottom of the deck, we do have the Four of Cups, so the Seven of Wands. We also have the Eight of Cups, so Two of Cups, and then we also have the Empress, so Seven of Swords, so Two of Wands, so Temperance card. It's like this person's constantly being divinely guided to not give up on you, time and time again. So, Virgo, here's the thing. Let's just focus on how this relationship essentially makes this individual feel. Let's just focus on that really quickly. So Virgo, with the Page of Cups to the Moon to the Ace of Cups coming out here, not only is this individual extremely emotionally invested when it comes down to you, but they really want this dynamic between the two of you to honestly work out. And it has been very challenging and difficult for them as far as like them building towards a life that they essentially want with you because of everything that you're kind of going through on your end, whether it's you having this massive fear of them abandoning you one day, or it's your trust issues getting the best of you, whatever have you. It has been very challenging and difficult for this person because they feel like they've been doing everything under the sun to keep this dynamic between the two of you intact and afloat, and you've been doing everything under the sun to tear the two of you apart, and they don't necessarily like that. I don't feel like you mean to show up in this way. I feel like what's really happening here, Virgo, is that you don't feel safe and secure. And the reality of the situation is that when a person doesn't feel safe or secure, and they're extremely scared, the first thing that person's going to want to do is get up and run in the opposite direction. You know what I mean? So you're responding in a way that anybody would essentially respond, because nobody likes to feel scared. Nobody likes to be in a dynamic with someone that they don't feel safe and secure with, that gives them anxiety. Nobody essentially likes that. So you're basically responding and reacting in a way that anybody essentially would. Now, I don't feel like you want to run in the opposite direction of this dynamic. I just feel like fear is what causes you to want to run in the opposite direction. I don't feel like you want to run in the opposite direction of what you share with this person. I just think that your anxiety makes you want to get up and run away. I feel like your trust issues want to make you get up and run away, or your fear of intimacy wants you to get up and essentially run away. It's not that you personally want to get up and walk away. It's these things that you're experiencing on your behalf that are influencing you to want to do so, if that makes absolutely any sense. But the thing is that when it comes down to them, they essentially feel like maybe, just maybe, you don't really want this dynamic between the two of you, because if you did, you wouldn't get up and walk away, things of that nature. And I get where they're coming from, and I understand why they would see it that way, but that's not what's happening on your behalf whatsoever. But I understand why they would look at it that way. Like, I understand why this person will look at you and kind of question if you really do want this or not, because if you did, why are you constantly getting up and running in the opposite direction of them? I get it. That makes total sense, but it's pretty evident to me you really do want this. I just kind of feel like, given what you're experiencing on your behalf at the same exact time, it's influencing you to want to get up and run. Now, even though there's times where this person feels very discouraged within this relationship, even though there's times where this person feels like things are just never going to get better, I feel like, Spirit is constantly encouraging this individual to not give up on you and not allow you to essentially self-sabotage this dynamic here between the two of you. At the end of the day, it appears to me that you think that you're essentially dealing with somebody who's out to get you, who doesn't have your best interests at heart, who's here to basically waste your time, betray you, deceive you. I mean, the list goes on and on and on and on. And it kind of looks like the universe has been trying to essentially reveal to you that's just simply not the case when it comes down to the person that you're connecting with. And I feel like they've been trying to essentially reveal this to you as well. There will come a point in time where you will stop fighting this truth and just accept the fact that you have a good thing. I do see that eventually, happening, as far as you accepting the truth about this individual is concerned. Because at the end of the day, you could sit here and think that this individual that you're dealing with is the bad guy, from sun up to sundown if you want to. But if your physical reality with this individual is showing you that that's not the case, if the universe is showing you that that's not the case, maybe, just maybe, Virgo, you're wrong about this person. And that's the thing, is that I also feel like that's kind of what you're doing here, right? Is that even though your physical reality is showing you that you're wrong about this person, even though this person's showing you that you're wrong about them, you still believe what you believe no matter what. You still believe what you believe no matter what. You see what I mean? So this is the epitome of you basically finding the truth because you think that you're right. But in this case, I don't believe that you are right about this person. At the end of the universe has shown you that, and at the end, this person has essentially shown you that. Now, it's going to take some time before you accept that you're essentially wrong about this person. But it kind of looks like there's going to come a point in time where you're just going to accept that you're wrong about this person. You're just going to accept it. I mean, you could fight the truth, for another year or two if you want to. But you're still going to find yourself being wrong about this person. So, then there's that, Virgo. Then there's that. Okay. But you will eventually, see the light, I guess, and see the truth when it comes down to this person. And once you do, I think that things will drastically change for the better, you know, between the two of you. I mean, I am definitely getting that, but you know, just because you think that this person's out to get you, Virgo, doesn't necessarily mean that they are. We could sit here and think that like unicorns are real. We could sit there and think that all we want. You know what I mean? But if our physical reality is showing us unicorns do not fucking exist, they're not fucking real, then chances are maybe they're not fucking real. Maybe we're wrong, you know? And I feel like that's kind of what you're doing here. It's like you're thinking to yourself that this person's like X, Y, and Z. And you could sit here and think that they're like X, Y, and Z all you want. But if your physical reality is showing you that that's just not the case, Virgo, maybe, just maybe you're wrong about this person, you know? And I just said this in somebody's reading, I want to say like a month ago. It's either your mind is essentially right about this person, your eyes are deceiving you, or your eyes are telling you the truth, and your mind is essentially deceiving you. But both things cannot be true. Both things can't be true. If you decide to accept the fact that your mind is essentially right about this individual, you also have to accept the fact that your eyes are basically deceiving you at the same exact time. Therefore, moving forward, you can't trust what you see. You see what I mean? Or you eventually come around and accept the fact that your eyes are not deceiving you and that your mind is what's actually deceiving you in this entire situation. But like I said, Virgo, both things cannot be true. Both things cannot be true. It's just, they're either the bad guy or they're not the bad guy. Both things cannot be fucking true. You know what I mean? It just can't. So you have to really pick and choose. Like, what are you truly going to believe? Are you going to believe that your mind is telling you the truth and your eyes are deceiving you? Or are you going to believe that your eyes are telling you the truth and your mind is essentially deceiving you? Because your mind's very capable of playing, you know, tricks on you. Very, very capable of that. So what are you going to believe? You know what I mean? What are you going to believe? What are you going to believe? And not only that, but it's like on a soul level and on an intuitive level. That's another thing too that I think that you should really focus on, is paying attention to how your soul essentially feels, how your soul feels. On a soul level, you feel complete with this person. On a soul level, you feel like you're exactly where you're supposed to be with this individual. I just kind of feel like what causes you to feel the complete opposite has a lot to do with the, but what if this happens and what if that happens, and if you are somebody who struggles, you know, with anxiety, that also plays a massive role in why you don't feel safe and secure. But if we get rid of your anxiety, your doubts and reservations, you feel like you're exactly where you're supposed to be and with who you're supposed to essentially be with. See what I mean? But you'll eventually come around is basically what I'm getting. All right, so that is what I have for you. Hopefully the reading helped, hopefully it resonated, and I will see you guys in your next reading. Bye.